Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. And I've noticed that not everyone who dislikes XRP is necessarily against it. People who are generally indifferent to XRP's existence, like the Bitcoin maxi types, don't really give a hoot about it. Many formerly skeptics now believe that XRP will skyrocket in value. And sure, I'm aware of that feeling, and I know that sometimes people don't listen and they get cranky when the price is down. We're having a bad day right now. Also, I'm aware that XRP was recently worth more than 90 cents. At the time this was recorded, it was trading for 51 cents, and that everyone was anticipating an all-time high. However, the truth is that XRP has only reached those types of highs and those insane surges when we were in a bull market and bitcoins were leading the way. I mentioned this before the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit concluded. Therefore, this is also the case. This in no way indicates that XRP is flawed or unreliable. But, some of you guys out there, not all of you. Some of you are probably as upbeat as I am, but I've seen that some folks seem down on it. However, merely because mood is low. Just because some people are pessimistic doesn't imply the rest of you should join them. In fact, some XRP naysayers are more bullish than some of you pessimistic XRP holders. And I can't think of a place where I have more hope for the future. Plus, it's just a fascinating topic. Here's a screen with a story about a guy who seems to be more of a Bitcoin guy than the guy they're covering. And he agreed that XRP would skyrocket. In other words, a well-known Bitcoin investor has been stockpiling. With their recent legal triumph, XRP is confident that they can reach the moon. As a further piece of evidence, a crypto fundamental specialist has predicted that XRP will increase by 950%, reaching $5.50. On a 2-month XRP chart, I am an inverted hammer. The Daily Huddle also published an article featuring the thoughts of Dan Morehead, the CEO of the pioneering American crypto hedge firm Pantera Capital. I was listening to Dan Morehead discuss the future of Bitcoins, in particular. I'm not really enthusiastic about Bitcoin, but I've been a happy holder of the currency since 2017. Because of its dominant market position, I can't help but wonder what it has in store. And let's just say, it seems like a whole lot of hopefulness on his face. He has an abundance of confidence. And he's also a guy who's really supportive of XRP. In addition, he has already predicted that XRP will be among the dozen or so cryptocurrencies still operating successfully in the distant future. And he said that for practical reasons. There are numerous causes for optimism. But before we go any further, let me make it perfectly clear that I am not a financial expert and am not giving any sort of financial advice. And you should not make any financial decisions based on what I write or say. I'm merely a hobbyist who likes to share his knowledge on crypto-related issues through YouTube videos. But in a casual, recreational context. As I type this, XRP has dropped to $51. The markets have been falling as well. Bitcoins have lost almost 2.65% of their value during the past 24 hours, down to $26,106, a loss of 4.344%. And I will demonstrate for those who are interested. The XRP 24-hour chart is displayed below. Here's Bitcoins, and if I quickly switch between the two, you'll notice that they both accomplish the same thing. One final point I'd like to make is that the news that the SEC has delayed the Bitcoin spot ETF applicants' applications has likely contributed to today's negative price action. This delay really shouldn't come as a surprise. In my opinion, it's only a matter of time before they're all given the green light. And I don't want to go into detail, because the last video has covered the subject. Check out my most recent video if you're interested in hearing more about the news and some of the specifics, as well as some extra comments on it, but I did want to mention it here since it did affect price, and I didn't talk about that in the prior video so much. But that's why we're seeing it. It's not a sign that Bitcoin, the market, or XRP is in trouble. In particular, there has been no change in the fundamentals, therefore it makes no difference if the markets rise or fall together. From what I can tell, things are looking great here. With a score of 52 on the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, the market is in an even keel. Retail lemmings may not know what they're doing or which way is up, but at least they're no longer frozen in terror. That's a relief, and it'll help me sleep better tonight. They don't care either way, they're in a blasé mood. So far, so good. A well-known Bitcoin investor has been stockpiling XRP since their recent legal triumph, and they now predict the moon is within sight. If Ripple prevails in its case against the SEC, Elite Crypto, a top Bitcoin exchange, thinks XRP can go to the moon. A well-known Bitcoin trader in the cryptocurrency industry recently tweeted his optimism for XRP. The expert trader with the X handle has publicly announced his possession of a sizable quantity of XRP. Here's the tweet that actually went live. I'm holding a bag of XRP in my portfolio, and I've kept buying during the dumps due to SEC cases. X was once known as Twitter. The fact that a disproportionate number of tokens are held by Ripple Labs itself, making it more centralized, was an early and ongoing disadvantage. Okay, so we already got a pause right there. This is the kind of rhetoric you can expect to hear from XRP's detractors. However, they are keeping it because they expect its value to skyrocket in the future. That's what this guy expects, and it's clear he firmly believes it will be. But he still uses the Bitcoin Maxi line of reasoning, saying that adding more ripples will make the network denser but not more centralized. Because the XRP ledger is distributed, he is confusing the concept of a concentration of a digital currency with a centralization of a cryptocurrency. And it's not evidence of ownership. So, holding more of a crypto doesn't grant you any additional privileges or access to the system. Even if Satoshi controlled half of all Bitcoins, that still wouldn't make the Bitcoin blockchain centralized, just that there would be a large number of people with a large number of Bitcoins. Also, some people have a lot of Bitcoin. Satoshi is said to own 1 million of the 21 million total. You can't try to act like that isn't a significant sum, because it is. In addition, a higher fraction of all XRP in circulation is held by Ripple. Okay, but it doesn't make it prime. I'm simply pointing out the kind of garbage you'll encounter. However, despite the fact that people may say such things, such an argument lacks intellectual merit. They are aware, and they will be quite honest about this, they think its value will increase dramatically in the future. I'm sad these lawsuits have had such a negative effect on their mental and emotional growth, but I've always enjoyed reading about how they maintained defending themselves despite it. It's feasible for someone who isn't following the price of XRP closely to misunderstand what Ripple is up to. So, he is referring to Ripple in this instance. Even while I agree, I think it slowed down the progress of the RippleNet and on-demand liquidity in the US. They're the quarters, they set up the payment rails, and they were already located outside the US before the litigation. Therefore, that grew and grew and grew. And it didn't even hinder that. Nobody outside of the United States seems to care about the lawsuit. And simply you even remember, last summer, Ripple reported you talking this is 2022, they reported that year-over-year on demand, liquidity was up something like either 800 or 900%. Again, I'm not trying to be flippant, I simply find it endearing. That he thinks it's going to the moon, despite his lack of familiarity with the XRP ecosystem or Ripple. Now I'm pretty sure that they've developed the brand, he adds. Trade promises, international interest, moon possibilities, if only they could put an end to this legal back and forth. I admire his hope for the future, but I think the market knows the case is over and XRP has enough legal clarity as it is. And then there's this guy who claims to be an expert who predicts a 950% increase in XRP's price to $5.50 by spotting an inverted hammer on XRP's 2-month chart. I'm skipping the article and going straight to the source. I'm not really into charts. But when analysts in our XRP community are so brave as to make predictions and set out major expectations, I am pleased to call attention to it. What the heck, let's put it in writing and see what develops. I don't make price predictions, but based on the statistics he's throwing around in this post, I have to admit that nothing about them seems particularly off the wall to me. To me, it all makes perfect sense. I've been very open about the fact that I plan to begin reducing my XRP holdings when the price reaches $5, with the majority of my gains having occurred by $7. If it continues to rise, I may sell all of my holdings if the price reaches $8, as that would represent an increase of more than 3,000% from the price I paid. After investing more than the average person, I'm satisfied with that return. That's exactly, I wouldn't be willing to sell much or any of it at those price levels if I hadn't risked as many of my fiat dollars up front. Personally, I'd wait for prices to rise, but I've already invested a great deal of time and money, more than most people would be willing to, in the hope of a larger return. That's how I'm approaching XRP, it's my only hope. It's the biggest thing I'm currently carrying. Yes. And yet, that is precisely the point. So if you're asking, I don't hold XRP anymore. Because I made a fortune of it, here's the deal, I know some people are going to give me crap one day when it arrives and I start selling, and maybe there'll be a day you listen to a Moon Limbo video. That, however, is the purpose. For example, exactly for this purpose are we gathered here. This in no way disproves its similarity to XRP. In reality, that just means I'll wait for it to crash again before starting to dollar average our way back into the market. In other words, I won't be going anywhere and we can still be friends. So, let the record show that I value the work of the various chart experts out there. You guys are risking a lot by going against the grain of conventional wisdom about how things are likely to pan out. That has been disproven as false. Oh my God, the trolls on social media will get you. You've got to have thick skin no matter what, whether you're on YouTube or if somebody knows you well on any kind of social media, so I'm grateful about that. Yes, I get it. However, I can assure you that the chart people have it the roughest of anyone in the crypto industry. Those pesky chart geeks. I'm glad I'm not doing this myself, because it sounds like they're putting statistics on the table and discussing expectations. In any case, the following is a quote from Greg Crypto of EEG. We expect an inverted hammer to form as the month-long candle finishes burning tomorrow. The 2-month XRP candle is about to close, and it looks like the creation of an inverted hammer is nearing completion. Within a time frame of 426 days. Incredibly, XRP's market structure has kept firm, allowing for a steadily expanding base rather than a weakening one. My prior analysis, in which I emphasized the importance of the 80-cent mark as a critical macro resistance level, is corroborated by the chart, showing a clear upward trend. If this price range holds, it will signal a very bullish macro position, and the next candle for XRP could send it soaring to the $2.30 range. If attained, this target would be only a benchmark along the way to the overall macro range of $3.30 to $5.50. Pointing to the fact that its upward trend will likely persist without interruption for some time. After crossing the $5.50 mark, you will have reached the peak, the equivalent of Valhalla, and all doubters and detractors will have been silenced forever. Again, I'm not predicting a price right now. But, undoubtedly, the voices of criticism will be stifled. They agreed in the end. They'll start up again once XRP begins its inevitable descent following such a meteoric rise in price, as is the case with other cryptocurrencies. But that's because they're being immature and dishonest rather than intelligent, and the issue is ideological and emotional for them. That's a load of hooey. Then he tells the XRP army to hold firm. Keep nurturing an unbreakable conviction in your hearts and thoughts. That last bit, I can tell you, I've had down pat for close to 6 years. I appreciate that my arm is not broken. I can honestly say that my faith in and enthusiasm for XRP's potential have never been higher. And I was prepared for what turned out to be an extremely drawn-out ordeal. There have been some unforeseen bumps along the way in the SEC, but I was prepared for a long and winding road, and so here I am. And that aspect is consistent with my expectations, approximately speaking. I'm not impatient in the slightest, and I'm well aware that that's not the case for everyone in the neighborhood. But I don't feel the slightest bit of impatience. I really, truly, mean that since what's happening is exactly what I was hoping for in 2017 after a very long time of waiting. It's true that changes don't occur instantly. Nope, I'm not going to be a little infant. We had my name, but now it's not going to be Ninja the same way. I plan to act the part of a baby back brioche. Only mature, reasonable people here. Okay, I'll do that. Simply put, it's on the way. Dan Moorhead isn't the only one who has that opinion. The heart of pantheonism is found here. Here, then, is the summary of today's meeting. Pantera Capital doubles down on their Bitcoin price projection for 2025. This is where it's aimed. Pantera Capital, an investment firm specializing in digital assets, is confident that Bitcoin's halving next year will launch a massive bull run. The $3.5 billion asset management firm predicts in its latest blockchain letter that Bitcoin's price will rise by more than 466% by mid-2025, making it the first cryptocurrency in history to reach six figures in value. The firm bases this prediction on the fact that Bitcoin's price has historically bottomed 477 days before the halving climbed leading into it, and then exploded to the upside after. The average time for a market to recover once a bear market has ended is 480 days. If past is prologue, Bitcoin's value should have fallen on December 30, 2022. Pantera also claims that Bitcoin's historical behavior indicates the king in crypto will grind up to $35,000 prior to the halving event, when miners' rewards are cut in half, predicting that Bitcoin will reach $147,843 around August 13, 2025. Okay, so I'll just say that it would be nice if it came sooner, but I'm just gonna be an adult about this, this is always going to be my stance. I don't get to pick when it happens, and I just have full confidence that all of the ridiculous useful idiot retail living speculators out there who make important, decisions based on the poor financial decisions based on their fuel fields, they're going to keep doing that. There will be some real gems among them. The most patient and hardy among them will realize, oh yeah, right, here's a market. Humans are going to act like idiots in any market, including this one, as I have. What I've done is basically repeat what I've always said. I'm not going to act like them or take part in their antics. In other words, anytime the useful idiots cause something to occur. And anytime institutional investors start pouring in and the laws of supply and demand take effect. Cool. A new Bitcoin record high is imminent, and perhaps it won't be too long until we see it. There are only a few months remaining this year, and he hasn't changed his mind. Some estimate that year to be 2024. Let's wait and see if that occurs. Here's what Pantera Capital has to say about their Bitcoin plans. The month of August 2025. The answer then is yes, in around 2 years. Doesn't mean for sure that it will occur. Perhaps, but let me make my case nevertheless. I'll be just as patient in 2 years if it hasn't happened yet. I'm prepared to wait as long as it takes. That is how I see it. Also, I don't have an immediate financial need. And I intend to keep on living it. And keeping tabs on all this is entertaining. It's entertaining to watch in the meanwhile. Having a stake in the outcome is a lot of fun. Over that span of time, I anticipate making a few purchases here and there. I like it. This fantastic chance. The opportunities are there, and that's the point. It's just that I can't pick the timing. Equally, you don't. People have a hard time with this since it's something they can't control, and as a result, they often make poor financial decisions based on their impatience rather than a solid understanding of the situation. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.